I'm Jay, owner of Volunteer Audio in Oliver Springs, Tennessee.
And I'm Robbie. Check out this awesome 2023 Streetglide ST Fast Johnnie Edition. This is one of the coolest Harleys they make right now. I absolutely love this bike.
Yeah, it's beautiful. We're going to do an amazing install on this amazing bike. We're going to do a fast install on this Fast Johnnie. Hang out and watch the rest of the video to see the upgrade that we do to this bike. This video is brought to you by VolunteerAudio.com, your #1 source for all things Harley-Davidson audio. From individual radios, speakers, and amps to complete plug-and-play amp and speaker systems, we've got you covered. And once you've ordered your package from Volunteer Audio, it includes lifetime tech support. And we have the very best step-by-step installation video so you can install it yourself and save money. All right, so Neil brought us his Fast Johnnie. He did this because a year ago, we did his other bike. And he got on the bike, he fell in love with it, he left the dealership, and he realized real quick, his factory stereo is terrible compared to what we'd done in his previous bike. So he brought it to his first thing. This is the first upgrade to the bike. Let me tell you everything we're gonna do with it. Let's start in the front first. We're gonna put new Hertz speaker grills in the front. We're doing this because it's gonna match our Hertz cutting kits we're gonna do in the lids. But we're gonna upgrade to a much better speaker. This is the Hertz SX690NEO 6.5-inch speaker. It's got a much bigger, stronger magnet than the factory speaker. It's got more cone surface area, going from a 5.25 to a 6.5. It's going to drop in directly with no modification, and these things are so loud and so clear. To make this system sound even better, we're going to add the SX690 6x9s in the lids. We're using Hertz's latest cutting kit. It's going to look great on this bike. These bikes are majorly blacked out, and these black cutting kits are going to suit it awesome. To give us the power we need to make it sound like Neil wants it to sound, we're going to put our Hertz SP4.900 amplifier. This is going to go in the fairing. It's completely plug and play. It's something we build here at Volunteer Audio. It's set up perfectly for his factory radio, and we're going to flash the radio so it has Apple CarPlay. We're going to turn on the rear speakers, and we're going to fix the terrible factory EQ when we do it. So this amp is 1,000 watts RMS, 2,000 watts peak. It's going to make this thing louder than you can handle. It's going to be everything you need to hear at any speed going down the highway. We're going to wrap those front speaker pods in the fairing with SoundSkin's sound deadening material. That's going to give us an even better sound. No rattles, more fullness, and we're going to get more of the mid-bass from the front speakers projected toward us. All of it's going to be plug and play. Nothing's going to be cut or modified as far as wiring, and all the factory warranties are going to be still left in place. All right, Robbie and I are going to get this bike protected, put our fender protector on it, take it apart, get the system in, watch the highlights of the install, and check out the final result at the end. All right, so I want to take a second. I want to talk to you about audio on your bike. Now understand, this is a brand new Fast Johnnie. It has almost no miles on it. And a lot of you have went to your dealership, you fell in love with these beautiful bikes. I go there and I drool over them myself. But then you think, oh, I don't want to do anything to hurt my bike, and I'm going to get my audio upgraded at the dealership. So I want to talk real quick about the HD audio by Rockford that's available at your local dealer and why we think our kits are so much better. A lot of it is really common sense. So the HD audio by Rockford, for whatever reason, the boom systems used to have an amp in the fairing. When they went HD audio by Rockford, they put all the amps in a rear bag. Doesn't make a lot of sense because it takes up usable room that you could have used. It also cuts big holes in your bag to run wiring out, and it makes it more difficult if you ever go to service anything to have to unplug multiple plugs to remove the bag. They also only use 5x7s in the lids if you get rear speakers. We're going to go up to a 6x9. We're going to put the amp in the fairing where it belongs. We're going to also go from a small amp. That Rockford amp is 400 watts is what they claim RMS power. We just tested the new CVO 500 watt Rockford amp, and all we got was 79 watts a channel. So we're probably looking at somewhere in the 65 watt range on the HD Audio by Rockford you'd pick up at your dealership per channel. 65 watts. This system's doing 190 RMS watts. We've tested it on our dyno. We know for sure it's doing that. That's over 3 times the power. We have bigger rear speakers so you can hear them. And when we do a cut kit compared to the replacement lid they do, our speaker is actually placed higher. It's angled actually better too. It's angled toward you so you're going to hear it much, much better than you could that HD Audio by Rockford system. Our Hertz system is more powerful, it is louder, it's clear, it's better built, it's better engineered, and it's better thought out. So don't go to your Harley dealer and get HD Audio by Rockford. Come to Volunteer Audio and let us do this to your bike. This guy knows the difference, and I'm glad that so many of you do. All right, so let's put the icing on the cake. I forgot to mention the HD Audio by Rockford, 1-year warranty. All the Hertz products that we're going to put in this bike are 3-year. That's amps and speakers no matter what. Much better warranty, all waterproof, and built to a whole different standard of quality. All right, we're going to get back to work. We're going to get this thing done. I think you'll be amazed at the end, so hang around and listen to the final result. Robbie's got the speaker pods out of the front of this Fast Johnnie. It is a Streetglide style batwing fairing. He's got both of these plastic pods out completely. He's cleaned them with isopropyl rubbing alcohol, and he's now installing our SoundSkins material. The SoundSkins is awesome. It's going to be pre-cut to all the shapes you need, and it's simply a peel and stick back. So once it's cleaned, you can peel it, stick it as he's doing. You install it on the outside, and there's some parts that go on the inside. It's actually going to stiffen it. It's going to make it fit tighter between the inner and outer fairing so there's not a void for things to move. And as that cone on that speaker is moving, generating sound, any reflection we get or any movement we get in that pod actually cancels some of that sound. So by stiffening this up, we're making sure that more of the sound is projected out to you. So overall, you're going to get more of what you paid for. It's a very simple, great idea that's very easy to install while you got it out. You don't necessarily want to do this if you're not already doing the audio. This is an option in all of the stage kits at volunteeraudio.com. You can simply select that you want to get the fairing SoundSkins kit. We also offer it for bags. We offer it for lids. There are many other versions of it. You can check all those out while you're checking out at volunteeraudio.com. Now let's talk about the speakers as well. These are those little speakers we were talking about. I like doing this trick where we take the magnet and we try to get it to pick up something metal, and you find out real quick there's really no magnet there. It's terrible. It's very similar to the HD Audio by Rockford speakers. They also won't pick up anything metal. Where we can take our Hertz speaker and you hook it to metal and it's going to pick it right up because it has a neodymium, rare earth, extremely strong magnet. It's small, it's lightweight, but it's strong. So it gives us what we need to not mess with the handling. We're going to have the same handling characteristics we had with the factory speakers. If you put too big of a speaker and too much weight, you're going to hurt that. But at the same time, it's going to drop in without modification. This tweeter is amazing. It is crisp, it is clear, and it has a protection circuit built in that none of the other brands have. So if we send it a clip signal or something that causes it to overheat, rather than burn up the voice coil, which is what a normal speaker would do, it separates the circuit inside until it cools back down. So the tweeter turns itself down. Once you restore a good signal, it turns itself back up. No new speaker needed. These speakers are going to go in as soon as Robbie gets done. We're going to put them back on. Now let's look at our cutting kits. We also got those installed already. They're on the bike. I'm fixing to put the 6x9s in. We did take the gas tank and the backbone cover off, and we're fixing to run our power and ground wire up through and our backbone back to power these rear speakers. So we're really close. We're making good time. Keep following along. We'll cut in, show you some more things as we go. All right, so we're almost done with our Fast Johnnie. Our rear speakers are installed. We've run the power and ground, the backbone. The front speakers are in, the sound skins are on, the amp's installed. Last step, before we put our last bag on and our seat on, we're gonna flash the radio. So in this case, we're using the stock radio. If we were using a SoundStream reserve radio, like the HD-HU14SI, we wouldn't need to do this step. But using the stock radio, we have to turn on the rear speaker output. We have to fix the EQ, because the EQ right now will change when the bike's running versus sitting still. So if you ever think your bike sounds pretty good sitting still, and then you fire it up and where did all the bass go and it sounds terrible, it's because the factory radio does that. It can see when it's running. We're gonna turn those things off. We're also gonna take that crazy bass boost that it has, and we're gonna turn that down and fix the EQ so we have a good full output out of that stock radio. So the last thing it does is it actually attenuates the radio down. If you don't do the flash and turn that attenuation down, you end up with a lot of floor noise. This radio is pretty noisy. So right now I've got a little bit of a hum through the speakers with the volume all the way down, but as soon as I get the radio flashed, we'll see that goes away. There's just a lot of problems with the radio that we can correct through flashing. Now you'll need a PC laptop, and you can rent the Techno Research Flasher from Volunteer Audio and do this yourself. We got videos showing you step by step the entire process. While you're doing it, you can also flash on Apple CarPlay so that your CarPlay will work with your Apple phone without having to have a headset connected to a whim. So we've shown you in the video how to step by step do that also. But if you don't want to do this yourself, we'd love to have you come to Volunteer Audio. We'll do the full build out on your bike and we'll flash it as well, or you could ride in and have us flash it. But when you get the plug and play amp from Volunteer Audio, you don't want to play it until you flash your radio. If you play it early, all of our gains are going to be set too high because remember I told you it's going to actually turn this radio down. So don't play it until you get this part done. We're going to do this. We're going to polarity check the system. We're going to finish putting all the panels back together, and we're very, very close to getting to listen to it. But I want to take you up to the fairing here in a second. I'm going to show you the amp and a little bit more about the wiring up there as well. Let me get this flashed and we'll meet you right back up at the front. All right, I want to show you our Hertz amplifier in our fairing. You'll notice it fits right above the stock radio on this tray, the metal tray above. All of our harnessing is plug and play. We've routed it in front of the amplifier and around and down, and it plugs in using a T-harness. Our factory plug is tucked up in this pocket, and then the other side of our T-harness is plugged into the radio. It's very clean, and if you watch our step-by-step videos at volunteeraudio.com, we'll show you exactly how to route the wiring and have it installed look just like this when you get done. If you notice, it's very serviceable. It isn't a rat's nest of wiring that's hidden in a fairing. All right, so Robbie did a great job. Even with this one, with the hidden antenna and the extra stuff from it, it still looks great. It's still gonna be very easy if somebody has to come in here, change a headlight, or do some other kind of work. They're not gonna get confused and mess up what we've done. So Robbie will get the fairing back on. I'm gonna show you some wiring on the bag, and then we're gonna get to listening to it. All right, so I wanted to point out one more thing. So if you went and got the HD audio by Rockford at your dealership, they're gonna cut some big holes back here and put some plugs. If you got the Rockford Fosgate aftermarket, which most people agree is better than what you get at the dealership, still nowhere near as good as this, they do some crazy things where they run their plug and play harnessing, actually has this connector inside the bag. So every time you go to service it, you actually have to pull the wiring out of the bag and this grommet out. Ours uses a weatherproof connection outside of the bag, so if you ever go to service the bike, let's say you needed to change the belt or get to the brakes or a tire, you unplug one connector, you lean your bag out, and you take it off. It's a very, very simple setup, and it's a much better, more thought out process than having to remove the wiring out of the bag every time you go to service it. All right, so we got our bike put back together, we've got our Bluetooth connected, and we're doing our polarity test. We went to Volunteer Audio's YouTube channel, we brought up the polarity speaker check, or the speaker polarity test track, and I've got it up, I'm gonna play it here. Now you're gonna hear some little clicks and pops in the background, and we're gonna use our polarity test tool, and we're gonna check our front speakers. As you saw, we just got 3 green flashes and a red flash. That means the front's in phase. Now we're going to check our rear one. All right, so our rear speakers They have 3 red and a green flash. That means they're out of phase with our front speakers. We're going to swap the speaker wires on our 6x9s. We have seen that in 23, which we've got so many 23s to do right now. I've got every 23 model you can think of here at the shop right now. It's pretty awesome. 23, they've swapped the polarity on the front pods. So Harley's inconsistent. Year to year they change it. That's why it's so important that we use a polarity test track and a test tool, and we test it when we're done. Because when all the speakers are firing together, we have better sound, we have better mid-bass, we have better clarity. The whole system sounds better when they're working together. I'll swap these out. We'll be back here in just a minute with it all fixed, and we'll be listening to one of our copyright-free music tracks and let you hear what it sounds like. All right, so now's the moment we've all been waiting for. We got the bike done. We're gonna power it up, throw on some music, and let's just check out what it sounds like. All right, it's so hard through YouTube to hear just how great this sounds. They always sound so much better here. I love it when you come visit us and we get to do your bike and you've listened to the bikes we've done on YouTube because you're just blown away. Get you some headphones, quality headphones or a good home audio system and listen to what the bike sounds like. On top of that, they're so loud, they tend to almost blow the mics out. So it's gonna sound much better in those scenarios. You're never gonna hear what it actually sounds like through the speaker on your phone. But it is so powerful. You feel the music. I can feel it in the floor. I can feel it in my chest. It is clear, it is loud, and it is way louder than we need to get over the wind and the engine at 70, 80, 90 miles an hour. I don't care what speed you're doing, you're gonna be able to hear your music loud and clear when you do a Hertz Stage 4 volunteer audio package. Now we've put links throughout the video above to this package so you know what it costs. You can give us a call at 1-844-30-AUDIO. We'll discuss other options with you. We'd love to, and to figure out what's the best for you, your budget, your bike, your genre of music that you listen to. We'll put together the perfect system. We'll then share with you all the step-by-step videos so you can do this install, start to finish yourself. Many, many others have done this. We've posted other videos that people have shared where they've done their own install. We make it very, very simple. And all the hard parts we do here at Volunteer Audio before it ever gets to you. Go back and look at the videos we've done on what makes us different, where we show how we wire it, where we show how we preset the amplifiers. We go into great detail in other videos on that. That was not what this video was about, but we do that. I want you to check it out. Like this video. By doing so, it's going to move us up in YouTube search results. It helps us tremendously, and all you got to do is click the little like button, so please do that. Subscribe to our channel. You'll see other beautiful bikes like this, amazing builds start to finish, new products as they come out, how to install it, and we'll also show you afterwards how to use it properly. So you'll get the most out of your investment in the audio on your Harley. Now we do other things. We've branched out. We do custom dynamics lighting. We do Chromeworks exhaust. We'll do videos over those things too. So watch and we'll show you all the latest for your Harley Davidson at Volunteer Audio's YouTube channel. Check out the website, volunteeraudio.com, where you can see all the things we sell, from security like seat locks to the exhaust to these audio systems. They're all on there. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, God bless.